Hey, how's it going? It's Jake yet again. Back for New Brew Thursday. I got a new beer here to try. This one is Summer Scene from Perrin Brewing Company. Man, just stumbling all over myself today. Side Hustle series, it says here. Brewing's down over near Kalamazoo, so shouldn't be too difficult to get. It says ale with blueberry, apricot, and plum. What else does it say on the can here? Aluminum shortage won't stop us from getting fresh beer into your hands. We've repurposed printed cans to continue repackaging the freshest beer, which is cool. It's got a neat wrap on it, so that's kind of nice. Summer Scene says what it's supposed to be here, so good. This imperial fruited ale combination of blueberry, apricot, and plum. Said that before. Inspired this original Michigan shoreline painting by Randy Ford. Continue to explore new places. There's a weird dash after Randy Ford, and it might just be the painting, but it does look super pretty. And I've seen sunsets that look like this over Lake Michigan, up north there near Traverse City. That was a good time. All right. So it's a sour. Well, I mean, it's going to be sour. It's got blueberry, apricot, and plum in it. Fruited ale, so ale-y, whatever that means. Should be kind of pale, not super dark, would be my expectation. Because of the fruits that are in it, it's probably going to be a little bit pink, which is interesting. I kind of like pink beers. You don't see a whole big bunch of them around because they're expected to be sour, which this one should be. It doesn't need to be, though. Where was that? Magic Hat had that one that was made with beet juice, which was interesting. Made it taste a little bit like dirt, but I mean, it tasted like beets, so that's what it's supposed to taste like dirt, for sure. Okay, so it should be a little bit sour. Ale, so kind of looks like golden ale, something like that, but redder because it's got that in it. It's got the fruit juices in it. So let's see what this tastes like. Okay, so it is sour. It's definitely not hoppy. I'm not getting any hops. What I'm getting is blueberry and plum, actually a lot of plum. They must have left the skins on because it's that plum skin flavor that I'm getting. It's not the plum, like the actual flesh part, it's the skin flavor, if you know what I mean. Like it's going to be a little bit, it's a little bit bitter from that, but it's the skin flavor from the plum that I'm getting mostly. And blueberry probably too. Just had a really big blueberry sale at my store. Like I said, stumbling all over my words, which is fine. I'm just going to leave it in there because I like you guys and I'm just having a beer. And if I were having a beer, I'd be stumbling all over my words and you would be making fun of me because I expect it. Please do. It's so much fun. I'll make fun of you when you stumble over your words too. Good times. Yeah, so a big blueberry sale. So, and I like peaches. So I got a bunch of peaches and a bunch of blueberries. And I like weird snacks. So I blended up a bunch of peaches and a bunch of blueberries, not together, separately, and then I froze them. So they're like popsicles. But I also got a text from my brother to say, hey, we're going disc golfing. Do you want to go? When I was halfway through with blending my blueberries. So I blended my blueberries and took them out of, dumped them into big cups from the movie theater and tossed them in the refrigerator to deal with them later. Did you know that if you have a big bunch of blueberry puree and you stick it in the refrigerator, that it solidifies into like jelly. I didn't. It does. It's really weird. Like, you can dip it about like this and it's not going to go anywhere unless you like really shake it and like get it in there with a spoon. Excuse me. Weird stuff. Is there a beer that this reminds me of? Well, I mentioned that one from Magic Hat. Unfortunately, actually, the Magic Hat one, the number 9, is the one that they're actually still making right now. Because of COVID, they've cut way back on their brewing, and they're only making the Magic Hat number 9 right now, as far as I know, unless they've started doing more. Because Magic Hat number 9 is delicious and it sells really well. And tastes like apricots. This guy's got apricots in it. So obviously there's a comparison here. And actually it's pretty close to the same color as that too. I don't know if it's got anything to do with anything, but these could be closely related, which is fine because Magic Hat's a pretty good brewery. Perrin, I really like Perrin over there near Kalamazoo. I thought they were in Portage, but this one says Comstock Park. So it's still pretty close. I'm pretty sure that's about where Bell's does their brewing now too. But they're in Kalamazoo, technically. And I think Perrin is technically in Portage, which is where the mall in Kalamazoo is. It doesn't really have a mall in Kalamazoo. It's really in Portage. Don't let them fool you. Kalamazoo's not that big a town. It's a small city, but neither here nor there. Just, there's a lot of people over there that don't like the places that I'm from, just because the universities are rivals. That's okay, because I like Kalamazoo, don't get me wrong, and the university there is good too. But don't let anybody tell you that, but I didn't tell you that I said that either. A story. Actually, I'm going to tell you about my t-shirt here. This is the James Taylor 2021 Tour t-shirt. I got this last Sunday. I went down to DTE with my dad. There were a lot of really old hippies. Well, really, there were a lot of old hippies there. Like not just old like I'm old. Like old like my dad's old and older than that. And James Taylor and Jackson Browne put on a really good show. It was a blast. During Jackson Browne, there was one dude that was down in that was down a little bit further than I was, right in the bowl there. He had his seats, and he had security come to escort him out a couple of different times. Really, they were coming to make sure that he'd sit down in his seat because he was up and dancing. It was great. He was not a small man, but dancing for everything he was worth. It was a really good time for him, obviously. I liked watching it, so it was funny. It was great. But yeah, super chill. Really, I don't understand how you dance to that music. It's a lot of this kind of stuff, but a lot of good songs. It was a good time. On the way down, stopped in at Northern Oak Brewing Brewery. Had a couple flights there. They had some really good beers. Their light lager was amazing. Like I said when I posted about it, I could have like 20 more of these. I mean, they're the 5-ounce pours, so that's not as many as what you think, but they were really good. Lots of flavor for a light lager, so that was nice. What else was there? I'm going to complain a little bit about Saisons because they always have great names for them. Like, wow, that's really super witty because it had something about honeydew list, so it was definitely going to be honeydew in this beer. And all I could taste was that it's a Saison. It did not taste like fruit like you would expect it to, because that's what they're supposed to taste like normally. They're supposed to be kind of sour. because they're a farm ale. So usually they make them with yeast that you harvest from the farm, which is a thing that people do, and it's kind of weird. So you'd also expect it to be a little bit barnyardy, which it kind of is, but I always have such high expectations, and I expect to like them, but I don't. I think I've had one, maybe two that I've liked, but all the rest of them that I had there were spectacular, top notch. The Saison tasted exactly like it should have tasted. I just have higher expectations for beer, I suppose. Man, this one's going long. I should probably do a little bit less talking and a little bit more drinking. This take less time. But it's really boring if I just stand here and drink in front of you, because I'm not drinking fast. I don't chug. Drinking's not a game. I mean, you can play games around drinking, but drinking's not a game. Especially with beer like this. This is way too good to do weird stuff like cornhole or beer speed or beer pong or jarts or I don't know, any of those backyard games that people use to play drinking games with. Don't drink this like that. You got to enjoy it because it's enjoyable. This stuff is great. I drink a bunch of these, but 9% alcohol by volume. If you drink a bunch of them, I mean, like 3 would be like having a whole bottle of wine. Just saying. We're getting close. So, I had a friend that had a birthday recently, and she said, "Hey, Jake, drink a fancy beer for me." So, Kayla, drinking a fancy beer. This one's for you. You can actually get it. You probably shouldn't drink it for another couple of months, because, or for a month or two. I think that's when the babies do. I don't remember for sure though. But yeah, I'm drinking this for Kayla. So here's to you. Do this, and then I'll read you the quote that I've got stuck up on my board there. So the quote I've got today is from Tony Bennett. It says, "When the uncreative tell the creative what to do, it stops being art." So just try to remember that, I don't know, whatever somebody else says isn't always what you should really actually do, especially when it comes to art, because it's your stuff and you should do what you want with it. So do what you like what you do. Be you. There's a lot of other platitudes I could put in there. You can find me at tubajake_69 on Untappd, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. I usually post these on Untappd and then share it to all of those, and Facebook generally, because I've got a lot more friends on Facebook than I do followers on anything else. So if you're watching this on YouTube or you've seen it on my Facebook page, you could go to those other ones. It's tubajake_69 at all those things, and follow me. It'd be awesome. Thanks. If you got time for a beer, I got time for a beer. I'll see you next time when I've got time for a beer.